We need to start having a dialogue about Spider-Man, about Tom Holland, about this whole saga of Spider-Man we've been getting. I just got out of the theater. Well, I got out there like an hour ago, but you know what I mean. Like I've been processing my thoughts. I'm finally home, and I want to make a video about Spider-Man: Brand New Day. I watched it, watched all the way through, waited to the end credits and all that. We finna deep dive into it. If you like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. You know the old thing. I'm gonna try to work on a podcast episode today with all my friends because most of my friends have seen it or going to see it today. So afterwards, I could probably have a big video coming up with all of us talking and discussion, little clips here for us on our Discord call and all that stuff. So look out for that on your feed. So basically, this is gonna be full-blown spoilers. This is Spider-Man. If you want a non-spoiler review, go see the movie. The movie's great. I highly recommend it. I think it's not as good as Spider-Man 2 because Spider-Man 2 is such a personal and such a great story that is set in the time. This feels like, and this isn't a spoiler, it feels like if you try to make Spider-Man 2 but today in the MCU because it works so well with the pieces that it has and it plays with. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Go see it. If I had to give it like a grade, I'll give it an A+. This is an excellent movie. This is I say this is top 3 MCU movies, okay? Period. There's not 3 other MCU movies I think off the top of my head that I would watch over this right now. Outside of my preferences in terms of what I like to watch would be the first Avengers, then there's Infinity War, then there's Winter Soldiers, then there's Brand New Day. But we're talking about just solid movies and how good it is. I'm putting this with it: Infinity War, Winter Soldier, like top 3 easily. Guardians of the Galaxy is right under that. You know what I mean? This is a very good movie, and so. Also, this is crazy enough in hindsight. Right? This time last year, when Superman came out, people was like, yo, DCU back. Hey, Spider-Man might have to push back and make a run for Supergirl. Because we don't know if Supergirl might overperform and be Spider-Man. Are you out your mind? Are you crazy? You thought that? Everybody knows on Twitter. Go on Twitter. I didn't make this up. Go on Twitter right now and look up Supergirl Spider-Man. And people say, y'all need to move it back. I don't know. It's going to get scary. Scary hours. The gun won't jam. Look at the gun. The gun now is jamming up. It's jamming up. It's breaking. What? What are we talking about here? This movie's making a billy easily. It might make a billy this weekend. It's projected 800 million opening week or something like that weekend. Spider-Man is that dog, number 1, top 2, not 2, bro. There's no big 3, it's just big me out here, okay? This movie is fucking great. It was great. And I love the fact how they featured all the things from the prior trilogy into this, so it's really like a building block. Like you can hop into this and enjoy it without seeing Tom Holland's movies, but you really need the content. And they feed you enough of what happened to so you can understand and follow the thing. But this is really part of a saga. This is part of a storyline here. You can't go to this without watching the first 3 of the trilogy to really get the pieces and stuff like that, and also the outer parts of the MCU, but you don't really need anything outside the MCU to watch this. There are some hints to other things in the MCU, and I'll get to that later. This is not full-blown spoilers also, by the way. But there are certain things where you need to watch the other movies, so when certain moments hit, they extra hit, because you've watched these characters grow and develop over the years and stuff like that. And it's so good, and it's so excellent of a fact of you seeing what everyone wanted: Spider-Man to be lonely, Spider-Man to be by himself, Spider-Man to be broken, and that despair, that duality of, well, do I want to be Peter Parker, do I want to be Spider-Man? And that gets to a great conclusion at the end of the movie. But my main thing to take away from this is this feels like officially what people envision a Spider-Man in the MCU movie to look like. This is what they envision it to be. This Spider-Man is so well integrated into the MCU now, where it's like he can show up and interact with these other characters. Hey, I don't know the source of this problem. Let me go talk to someone on the Avengers and see what they know. You know what I mean? Like Spider-Man Homecoming wasn't doing that. Spider-Man, like you couldn't see Tom Holland Spider-Man in Homecoming or Civil War doing this. We're like, oh, let me go ask XYZ. Let me go ask this person if they know anything about this. They'll be like, oh, it'll be like a kid thing where like, okay, they'll rely on it, or they'll try to keep, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, he's not the one initiating the thing of, I'm gonna go talk to XYZ. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it's so natural now. You know what I mean? It's not like he's an adult now. He's not like a little kid that's trying to impress the big dogs now. He is a big dog, and that's what I meant in terms of like the first trilogy felt like, okay, he is still a kid growing, and now this is an adult living his life. in terms of how he moves, how he maneuvers. And it's so great because you have the street level from the Netflix Punisher, you have the MCU, the big Avengers, we have the Bruce Banner in here, and then you have the new generation with Yelena there or whatever, right? And I love that whole scene with that you can see all the battle scars on him and stuff like that and stuff. It was excellent. I love that. I loved it. This movie was great. Okay, I still think Spider-Man 2 is better because it's just more isolated. And I know people have that flaws. Well, when you it's not fair to compare it to Tobey's because he's in the MCU and you can't really compare it to because he has much more to work with. It's like, bro, if you put LeBron James on the Warriors, the Golden State Warriors in 2017, and he loses, you're gonna sit there and say he couldn't win with all that. But if he goes and he wins with the Atlanta Hawks, you know what I mean? It's like they both have to succeed with the pieces they have regardless. You can't just sit there and pick one and not the other, basically. And so I really feel like the way this movie handles everything in the universe, it works so well. And I love the fight scenes. My favorite fight scene is him against Scorpion when he starts to mutate and he whooped the fuck out of Scorpion. It was so fucking funny. Cause I'm thinking in the back of my mind, imagine having beef with a nigga for so long, and the one time this nigga shows up, it's not even like you just wake up randomly and the nigga you've been trying to beef with for the past 10 years just waxed your ass and beat the dog shit out of you. Oh, and I love the conclusion of the lady from the bear. I forgot her name. My apologies. She did excellent. It was excellent in this movie. I like that whole piece. I know it would have been too much like the games. I wish they had Yuri. You know what I mean? Like a more of like a police lady, or you could have, I know they're gonna do Miles way later, like his dad, and like you build that relationship up of like, oh, I work with your dad, and now I know that your son is Spider-Man, but like that whole thing of like keeping a secret is not his place to tell. I think that would have been a nice place, but anyway. The big reveal of this movie that they were holding from all the trailers of who the mystery villain is, who could it be, and basically it's kind of like the best kept secret. It's Jean Grey, but my thing is, I understand because I was talking to my little brother and he got a lot of points in this movie that I didn't even think of that made me like the film a lot more because there's a lot of nods to other like movies and video games and shows and stuff like that. And so basically, I don't like the fact of everyone know, like they're so open with like, I wish I didn't have any information going into this. I wish this was a genuine surprise because I kind of knew in the back of my head this was probably Jean Grey because of, oh, she's a redhead, they're fighting a telepath, they don't know what's happening and stuff like that. And then the whole thing with like Kevin Feige handpicked Sadie Sink. And she's going to be in Secret Wars. And so why the fuck would a Spider-Man villain be in Secret Wars? Like, what is the purpose of that, right? So I was kind of figuring like, it's probably Jean Grey. But then I was kind of hoping like there's another villain that's really, coercing her to get into these things, right? And her motive made sense in terms of like trying to find her sister and the love. And I think this will tie her to X-Men well because she feels like she's alone, right? She's leaving New York after the whole movie and you don't know where she's going. And when that first X-Men movie hits and she appears and she and Scott has this connection where it's like, I'm alone too. I have these abilities I have trouble with controlling, or I feel so lonely, or people are after me because of these abilities. I think it's gonna hit like crack rock, right? And I like the fact that Jean is so young. So like when we get to the whole like Phoenix Saga and Apocalypse and Cable Saga and all that stuff like that, years and years and years and years later, we can go back to this moment. It's like, wow, she appeared in a Spider-Man film, and we might see where like at this point, Peter Parker isn't even Spider-Man. He probably be passed, or Miles Morales is now the official Spider-Man. Like, I love the fact that the whole universe is gonna be like, it's breathing and it's growing with you. Where like you could look back. It's crazy that you could look back in a few years now when I think when Secret Wars come out. You could look back 20 years ago. We started watching this because of Iron Man, and now we're seeing all these different characters spawn from this universe. It's been going on so strong. And yes, there's ups and downs, but it's so great. And I'm getting back to the movie in a second, but I think it's a phenomenal casting. She did very well. I just don't like the fact that Jean Grey was a villain. And so my brother was telling me, like, yeah, it makes sense, though, because when people find out that she was the villain, people are going to hate mutants more. And that's the whole thing, where it's like, at the end of the day, people are going to hate mutants. And especially when, like, that whole thing that she did on Staten Island, I think it was, no, that was the joke with Punisher and Spider-Man. The whole thing where it's like, she took over that island and stuff like that, and then spread it out across the city. It's going to spill into, we don't like this chick because she's uncontrollable. She might spaz out again. And another thing my little brother pointed out too, when they were all frozen, it kind of looked like what Professor X did in Logan when he was having a seizure. And that blew my mind because I don't know if they meant that intentionally or it had to, because like that effect where MJ is crying because she knows something going on but she can't move. It's like that, but it wasn't. It's not painful because Jean Grey isn't having a seizure. It's just showing like you kind of have that visual now when you watch Logan of, wow, imagine being like this but you're in pain for hours and you can't get out of it and you just die like that. You know how fucking horrifying that sounds? Like that took it up and I was like, whoa, I didn't even think about that, right? Another thing I really didn't like about this is the fact that Peter Parker is now responsible for creating the inhibitor chip. And now he's like Oppenheimer, where when the X-Men and the mutants come out and they have these inhibitor chips and they're going to use that to detain these mutants, you're going to think in the back of your head, Spider-Man really created this. And I don't like that at all, actually. And I understand there are heroes that create bad things that are meant for a good purpose, but it turns out to be a horrible decision, like Hank Pym with Ultron and stuff like that. But I don't want Peter to be tied into this is the reason why mutants are being enslaved and killed. Like, it felt nasty to me. But someone did put on Twitter, maybe it's a plot hole, maybe, I don't know, but the fact that people were acting like this is revolutionary technology, when in Captain America, at the end of Captain America Civil War, you saw they had that same collar for Scarlet Witch to like defuse her powers. So like, is that the same technology? Or, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. Because, like, the inhibitor chip is kind of like a... It doesn't fully end the powers, because Jean Grey still was able to use her powers. It was just very limited. No. She wasn't able to use the powers, so they turned it off. But Peter Parker was able to use it in terms of, like, you know, like, climbing up walls and shit like that and stuff. So, like, maybe it was, like, a full-fledged, like, inhibitor to, like, diffuse the power. But, like, the collar in Civil War is? I don't really know. And I hope they... when they bring it up again, they call that out, because that's kind of like a weird plot hole. Because if Damage Control really wanted like things to stop mutants or power people like that, they have control with the government. They can just go to the raft and get these collars and repurpose them, right? You know what I mean? I did like also the Easter egg with the hand where they're talking about these are kids with no leaders, because all the leaders are basically gone because of the Defenders, and also they were children in the Netflix shows as well, because in season 2 a kid tried to kill Matt Murdock and Elektra killed them. I like that stuff. I like how the hand was moving in this movie to the point where I need to see Daredevil and Spider-Man in a movie together. I need it so badly. I don't care. I hope they bring back Punisher too, because I love Punisher and Spider-Man's dynamic together. It was so good. It actually, I was going to make a video about how much I hated the Punisher in the MCU, but this movie completely made me do a 180, where it's like, this is what I wanted the Punisher to be, where like he's in his element, of course, but like he's not I don't want to be a Punisher. Like, this is it. And I love how he plays the role of Spider-Man's like, I'm just like you, like I don't this is my goal, this is my purpose, and he's like, no, you're not like me, like you have no idea what stuff that I've been through. And they have little nods and Easter eggs, if you know the Punisher, about, okay, this is why he keeps the pictures there and don't touch it and stuff like that. I love, like, that. Punisher is good when he's not his own thing. It's bad shit and say it to me. Punisher in his own show, his own special, is dog shit. When he's when he's with Daredevil, when he's with Spider-Man, it's just beautiful and it's amazing to me. So it's like, at this point, don't make no Punisher movie. Just have him forever be guest cameos and second fiddle to other movies, man. Because at this point, that's the only thing that works best for me at this point, right? But back to what I was saying, I need Spider-Man and Daredevil in this movie fighting together, because the way the hand was moving, the way we've been seeing Daredevil compared to the hand would have dogged the shit out of Daredevil. They was not moving that way. I don't know, controlled by Jean Grey. They was not moving that way when they was fighting Daredevil. And I know it's a budget thing, especially with the Netflix thing, but we gonna need to see Daredevil on some feats that have never been seen before. And I hope, because I trust Daniel Destin Cretton, I think is how to pronounce his name. I really, like, you know, am hoping to see Daredevil in this type of fight, but, you know, I just hope that they can buff him up where he's moving like this, and he's moving that crazy, he's running up, like, that would be so fucking cool. But yeah, the whole thing that's happening to Aunt May, how he talked Jean Grey down, I loved the shot of him in the hospital Speaking, going back to the Punisher, the whole thing with him in the hospital room doing the little yell, because that was the one thing I hated in the Netflix shows. He just him doing that in the hospital room with the Spider-Man mask. I lost it. I laughed out loud. That is fucking funny. Okay. I love how they use the Hulk in this, because people want the Hulk to come back. Well, now he's full-fledged. He doesn't have the inhibitor device anymore, and they say he went to the psych wards. I don't know if he's like trying to end himself or he's going crazy, because like he's been suppressing the Hulk for so long that what is that? You know what I mean? Like what's going to happen with the Hulk now? You know what I mean? Hopefully they do like a Hulk TV show. You know what I mean? Like Disney has the money for it. I'm not trying to hear no thing where they can't do the budget for the Hulk. Yes, you can, bro. But those are my thoughts. This is a great movie. I had hella fun seeing it. I can't wait to go again. I'm going twice. It was excellent, and I'm just happy to be experiencing it. And that post-credit scene, it was whack. I'll be honest with you, because the whole thing of like, oh, Spider-Man will return. Like, no shit, he's gonna show up in Secret Wars. But I think they're gonna allude to Spider-Man's gonna get the symbiote. I think this is gonna happen in Secret Wars. I think this is gonna happen. And then the next movie is gonna be him dealing with that. And I think it's gonna be like a multi-arc movie where it's gonna be like he gets in Secret Wars, Spider-Man Brand New Day sequel, he's having the symbiote, and at the end he finds out it's Venom, and then he takes it off, and then the third movie is him going against Venom. I think that's what it's gonna be. But yeah, this movie was great. Any other highlights? There was a lot of references to the Spider-Man video game, like the stun batons. And also, if you watch the montage in the beginning, when he's fighting the crime dudes on the rooftop, he does a little spin dodge web to the face that you do in the video game where you do the perfect dodge. Fucking great. What else? Scorpion was great in this. I always loved that actor. He was great in Better Call Saul. Shout out to Nacho. I'm excited to see what goes forward. You know what I mean? This would be a cool movie to reveal, like Professor X. You know what I mean? Like the MCU's version of Professor X, but they're gonna save it to after Secret Wars for sure. I don't know. That's pretty much all I got right now. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think. If y'all like this, like, subscribe, and share. And I'm out. Peace.